This video is an in-depth analysis of the Susan Lorencz case as featured in the Netflix documentary The Perfect Neighbor. In my first video in the series, I talk about how the police could have prevented this tragedy from happening, and today's video is going to dive a little bit deeper into the details of that. And I'm making this video because if this was a systemic failure, that means if it's left unchecked, it could happen again to someone else. So it's important to investigate that, and let's get into it. This NBC article came out 4 days ago titled What to Know About Susan Lorencz. The article quotes the Marion County Sheriff's Office and doesn't mention an iPad as we heard on the police body cam footage at the scene of the tragedy. It says that Lorencz and one of Owens' sons got in an argument and Lorencz threw a roller skate at him, hitting him in the toe. Although in the body cam footage in the documentary we heard mention of an iPad that night. I'm just noting the discrepancy. Let's try to put ourselves in this situation for a second. It's nighttime. This incident with the roller skate and the umbrella just happened to your son. Recall from the body cam footage when Ajika was charged with battery for tossing the sign towards Susan that Ajika had a prior citation for battery against Susan. So you're a mom with a battery citation. A police officer has told you before that the second time someone's trespassed, they can take them to jail. And the officer has body cam footage of you and himself having this conversation. So if you're in Ajika's situation, are you going to call the police? She didn't call the police about the roller skates because she would basically be incriminating herself because she would have to explain that her son had been back over there after the police told her they can't be over there. The NBC article quoting the Marion County Sheriff's Office stated that Ajika went to Susan's house unarmed and knocked on the door multiple times, demanding to settle the dispute. Let me know in the comments if you would go knock to demand to settle this dispute or not. I would definitely not go over to my neighbor's house I had a dispute with after dark. If I had a prior battery charge from them especially, I would be way too scared to go knock on their door at nighttime. The fact that Ajika went to settle the dispute herself reveals that she was not afraid of Susan, and she didn't think Susan was crazy, because we tend to fear crazy people. And are you going to go try to settle a dispute yourself with your crazy neighbor at nighttime? If you think your neighbor is crazy, why aren't you afraid of your kids playing in her yard at nighttime? Wouldn't you be scared of her doing something to them if you really think she's crazy? In the documentary, they mentioned the other neighbor, who was a man, allowed the kids to play on his property. Just because someone allows that doesn't mean they're not a pedophile. The kids were outside unsupervised a lot. So I don't say this lightly. Why risk losing your kids over a dispute like this? The kids were even over there when Ajika went and knocked, and it could have been one of them who was accidentally killed that night. Body cam footage from the documentary, we see a neighbor who is friends with Ajika lie to the police for her.
No, she didn't. No, she started tossed it.
The inconsistent enforcement of the law and lack of enforcing it on the follow-up calls when they threatened action the first time allowed the situation to escalate. In short, Ajika did not even get the opportunity to learn to correct the behavior via legal punishment, because the police believed it when the neighbors said Susan is crazy, and they dismissed the seriousness of the situation and the potential of it to lead to this violence. If the neighborhood had not so successfully gaslit Susan to the police, to the point they got the police to even gaslight Susan, Ajika could still be alive today. And when I say they got the police to even gaslight Susan, I'm referring to the second and third time that the police came out in the body footage in the documentary.
I mean, parents aren't attending him. Obviously, they're just,
I understand it's a new thing.
In one instance where the police came out, we even see Susan cite the law and the officer just ignore it. I think the whole situation was confusing to both Ajika and Susan because the written law was not enforced. That's why I'm raising the alarm that this was possibly a systemic failure that needs to be investigated. As undesirable as legal punishments are, they can sometimes prevent escalation, and that's why they're in place. And a punishment would be preferable to a death. is a case that meets at the intersection of gun rights, property rights, self-defense, race politics, psychology, and legal ethics. And I think it's an important discussion that we need to delve into to make sure that it doesn't happen to anyone else. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the points I made in this video today in the comments below, and please subscribe to catch the next one where we'll delve into the trial and sentencing.